Alright, so today I'm going to be drinking Japanese Dr. Pepper for the first time. Will it be similar to what I'm used to as an American, or will it be different? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out, and I'm looking forward to finding out just how good or how bad Japanese Dr. Pepper actually is for the first time. Although I will acknowledge I don't think it's going to be bad by any means. I just think it might be a little bit different because in the United States, Dr. Pepper is owned and produced by Dr. Pepper 7-Up Incorporated, also known as Keurig Dr. Pepper. However, in Japan, it is not that company that produces and owns Dr. Pepper. In Japan, Dr. Pepper is owned by Schweppes and is produced under license from Schweppes by Coca-Cola, which is pretty weird to hear as an American, I will acknowledge, because in the United States, Coca-Cola actually has their own competing brand that is basically a Dr. Pepper copycat called Pibb Extra, used to be known as Mr. Pibb until 2001. I thought Mr. Pibb as a brand name existed for way longer than that because I saw it on machines when I was growing up, but I guess it didn't. In all honesty, I just found that out right before this video, looking at the Wikipedia page, doing research for what I'm saying right now. But yeah, it's pretty weird for me as an American to say that this Dr. Pepper was made by Coca-Cola, because in the United States, Coca-Cola has their own rip-off, knockoff version of Dr. Pepper. It's pretty odd, I will acknowledge, simply due to the fact that this Dr. Pepper is owned and is produced by a completely different company than the company that produces Dr. Pepper in the United States. I am expecting it to be different. However, having taken a look at the ingredients, they're pretty much exactly the same. They're not using cane sugar for this version of Dr. Pepper. They are still using a fructose syrup. They're using glucose fructose syrup to be specific, which some call a version of high fructose corn syrup. What the differences really are between the two, I honestly don't know, but it's still a syrup sweetener, so I figure it can't taste too different by any means, now can it? They didn't use any completely different flavorings or anything like that. Still has caramel in it and everything like that kind of thing, or at least according to the ingredients. And really the only thing that's kind of throwing me off is this piece of the packaging right here, where it says that this Dr. Pepper contains over 20 fruit flavors. Now, that's really odd to me, I will acknowledge, because in my opinion, Dr. Pepper does not taste like fruit. Like in the United States, they market themselves as having over 20 different flavors, sure, but 20 different fruit flavors? No. It makes me wonder if this Dr. Pepper might be a little bit different. It could be similar, it could be different, it could be exactly the same as the Dr. Pepper in the United States. I'm not sure. Honestly, I think it's just about 50-50 either way. But I do suppose we should probably go ahead and find out now, shouldn't I? After quickly covering the packaging, that is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and quickly cover the packaging, which is very interesting and is quite different than Dr. Pepper in the United States, if I do say so myself. After I quickly cover the look of the can, I'm going to go ahead and get the can pop, go ahead and smell Japanese Dr. Pepper for the first time, and then after that, I'm going to go ahead and take a sip and let y'all know, well, just how Japanese Dr. Pepper is and whether it's actually different or similar to American Dr. Pepper. And once I'm done drinking, once I've gotten my fill, I'm going to let y'all know if this is actually just as good as American Dr. Pepper, and if it isn't, is it better or worse? Well, I'm looking forward to finding out the answer to that question at the end of this video, but first off, we've got to quickly cover the packaging, which overall uses the pretty much exact same colors as Dr. Pepper in the United States, but the design itself is very different. We can see the Dr. Pepper logo right here is meant to look like a neon sign, in my opinion. There's like a bunch of light bulbs going around and everything like that, almost looking like a pachinko like sign or something like that. Maybe, I'm not exactly sure, or like a bar sign. We can see there's a bottle right there, a glass over there. Maybe they're really trying to advertise this as a mixer. After all, Dr. Pepper does go amazingly with bourbon, in my personal opinion. I am a fan of Dr. Pepper and bourbons, I will acknowledge. Under this design right here, which very much has a background of that classic sort of Dr. Pepper burgundy red, we can see it just says over 20 fruit flavors right there in a sort of neon sign aesthetic once again. And then there's just a bunch of swooping lines down here. It says DP and like a bunch of light bulbs right there and everything like that. Swooping lines going down once again. And then it just says, "You'll be addicted." Wow. Yeah, they wouldn't try to put that on the side of a bottle of alcohol, because that would just be a lawsuit waiting to happen. But with Dr. Pepper, it's a big baller move because Dr. Pepper is very addictive. I am a fan, I will acknowledge. And that's pretty much all there is to the design on the front of the packaging. Just want to quickly cover the design. Taking a look at the back of the packaging, we can see a more classic Dr. Pepper logo right there. Pretty much just the normal Dr. Pepper logo, although I will acknowledge I do feel like it is slightly different for some reason. I can't exactly pinpoint what the difference is, but it does look a little bit different to me. But overall, the logo itself is basically the same. I will acknowledge nothing too major of a difference. Of course, we can see one of the most major differences in packaging is the fact that the ingredients and all the other information is not in English. It is instead in Japanese. And of course, that is how we can prove that this is some good old Japanese Dr. Pepper right here. It just says glucose, fructose syrup, caramel coloring, all that sort of fun stuff and everything like that. Produced by Dr. Pepper under license from Schweppes, and we can actually see that says that in English right there as well, but it also says it in Japanese, and it just says that you get like 44 kcal per 100 milliliters or something like that, and I think it says 154 kcal total from this can, which is, I want to say, like 300 and something milliliters, although I'm not exactly sure. I forgot to translate this before the video, so honestly I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm sure it means something. And we can see the barcode right there. Without further ado, let's go and get this open, and let's go and take a smell of Japanese Dr. Pepper for the first time, if I can get it open. Wow, that was very firm. There we go, there we go. All right, let's take a smell. I'm gonna be honest, it smells like Dr. Pepper. Caramel. A little bit of spice. And it smells like Dr. Pepper. Yep, this smells like Dr. Pepper. It certainly doesn't smell dissimilar to Dr. Pepper, I will acknowledge. It's kind of hard to describe the smell of Dr. Pepper just to somebody who hasn't tried Dr. Pepper before. It's that type of a smell and that type of a taste in my personal opinion, where it's just kind of hard to describe in ways that don't just call it what it is. But I'd have to say I'm getting a sweet, slightly syrupy, caramel, slightly spicy smell. And overall, it just smells like Dr. Pepper, in all honesty. Well, I do think without further ado, it's time for me to go and take a sip of Japanese Dr. Pepper for the first time. And I think it's time for me to find out just how Dr. Pepper from Japan actually is for the first time. Let's go and grab myself a little bit of a screenshot real quick. Now that I've done that, let's take a sip of Japanese Dr. Pepper. Yes, sir, yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? It is Dr. Pepper. Without a doubt, it's Dr. Pepper. But there is a difference. There, in my opinion, is a difference. One, overall, in my opinion, the syrupiness in Japanese Dr. Pepper is less heavy. I think the syrupiness is more overwhelming in American Dr. Pepper. That's not to say that I think the syrupiness is better in Japanese Dr. Pepper. It's just different. I personally like American Dr. Pepper a lot. It's one of my favorite sodas from the United States. And Japanese Dr. Pepper, it's definitely got its own spin on it. It's not completely different. It's also not exactly the same. But if you had two of them side by side, you would be able to tell both of them are Dr. Pepper without a doubt. And you'd probably be able to tell which one is American Dr. Pepper, but you'd still know both of them are Dr. Pepper. You'd probably just think that this one is a slightly different version of Dr. Pepper that is maybe a slightly off flavor. I think the carbonation as well is maybe a little bit more foamy. I think the carbonation is a little bit more foamy, and I think the overall, the Japanese Dr. Pepper has a little bit less of a sort of spicy kick to it. I think it's got a more sort of smooth taste to it. Yeah, I'd have to say, I think it's honestly, I think it's still got that spice kick in there, but I think it's slightly less prominent than American Dr. Pepper. And I think that the foam itself, the carbonation itself, is just a little bit more frothy, which gives it a little bit more of a foamy mouthfeel, and overall smooths it out overall, in my personal opinion. So there are definitely some minor differences, but overall it's really not that different. I am really picking this apart, looking at minor things to say are massively different. And it's not massively different. I'm not trying to say it's massively different. It's really not. This is Dr. Pepper. It just happens to be Dr. Pepper from Japan, and this still tastes like Dr. Pepper. If you enjoy Dr. Pepper in the United States, you're going to enjoy Dr. Pepper in Japan, just straight up. It's not that big of a difference. And I'd have to say probably the biggest difference taste-wise is that I honestly kind of feel like there's a little bit of a fruity flavor in there. Like, I don't know, I kind of feel like there is. Like, in the United States, I never really felt like there was a sort of slightly fruity flavor in Dr. Pepper. I never really felt like there was. I was just kind of like, it's caramel and spice, and that's what it tastes like to me. But I really do feel like in Japan, the Dr. Pepper actually has a slight fruity flavor to it, which you don't get from Dr. Pepper in the United States. It's very interesting. That's very interesting. Overall, sweetness-wise, I feel like it's about the same. The syrupiness is, I'd have to say, a little bit lighter. And I'd have to say the flavor itself is a little bit different. It's still very obviously Dr. Pepper. It's not that different. I mean, like most sodas and most products try to remain more so than not the same around the world kind of thing, I will acknowledge. I haven't tried a iconic soda or drink or food that's known in one country and is sold under one brand, and then it's sold in another country and it's like entirely different. It's just the nameplate that's the same. Personally, I've never had an experience like that. I'm sure there are examples out there without a doubt. But honestly, yeah, this Dr. Pepper does taste slightly different. The more I think about it, the more I really do think that. I really, it's not a huge difference as said, but it's very interesting. And if you guys are ever in Japan, I'd honestly say, if you're a fan of Dr. Pepper, I think Japanese Dr. Pepper is absolutely worth trying. Without a doubt, I think it is worth trying. Because I think, personally, that it's got a little bit of a different flavor to American Dr. Pepper when compared to American Dr. Pepper, to say it correctly. I think Japanese Dr. Pepper, I'm gonna say it, I think it's slightly less syrupy. I think it's slightly less spicy, and I think it has a little bit of a fruity taste to it. Like, it's still very sweet, and the sweetness is not dissimilar from Dr. Pepper in the United States. It's just slightly less syrupy sweet, in my opinion. The spiciness is still very much there, but it's more mild than the American version. It's also still got that very heavy caramel taste to it, in my opinion. In my opinion, Dr. Pepper has a very large caramel taste to it in the United States. That's still there in Japan, and it has not mild it down one bit. But then there's a new taste of a sort of fruitiness. Almost like, I'm gonna have to say, like, yeah, like caramel fruit. That's, I'm like, with the combination of the caramel and the sort of fruity taste, it almost comes across like caramel fruit. Like, I'm not gonna say like any specific fruit. Like, I was almost thinking like caramel apple slices, but it doesn't really taste like any one sort of fruit per se. It's just kind of got like a very slight, almost sort of citrusy, sort of fruity taste to it. And if I had to compare it to anything, it would honestly be like caramel apple slices. But I'm not going to say that this tastes like caramel apple because it doesn't. It's interesting that Dr. Pepper actually is as different as it is in Japan versus in the United States. It's still a great drink, without a doubt. Dr. Pepper is a great drink in the United States, and it's obviously a great drink in Japan as well. Otherwise, I'd be dissing on it right now. I quite like it. Excuse me. And I think I can most certainly say that I'll be buying more Dr. Pepper in Japan while I'm here, without a doubt, because I quite like this stuff. No complaints on my behalf. I think it hits a little bit less hard, and there's other differences as well, but I think the best way to sum it up is to say that Japanese Dr. Pepper hits less hard. I think the spice being toned down makes it hit less hard. I think Dr. Pepper has been made moderately more mild for the Japanese palate. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I haven't ever had any spicy food in Japan. I went to an Indian restaurant, and I got the highest spice level, and I could handle it. I cannot handle spices. I go to an Indian restaurant in my local area. I get the most mild spice level, and I'm sitting there crying. Okay, not actually crying, but I'm like sweating because I can't handle it. I cannot handle spicy food. It is not my forte. Japanese spice levels are... They don't have spicy food here. So maybe that's why they toned down the spice level in Dr. Pepper. I'm not gonna lie. It is toned down a little bit. Like, not that Dr. Pepper is actually like spicy like Indian food or like Thai food or something like that kind of thing. Like, it's not that type of spicy. But like, I do feel like it might have been toned down because of that. But of course, I do want to clarify once again, it's not toned down to an insane degree. There's still that spiciness in there. There's still that Dr. Pepper kick in there. It just feels like it's really less mild than in the, it feels like it's more mild, not less mild. It feels like it's more mild than Dr. Pepper in the United States. Well, it's a good thing because it's different. And I like the fact that it's honestly slightly different. It's nice to kind of switch it up and have a slightly different version of Dr. Pepper. But it's also kind of a bad thing because I really like the kick that Dr. Pepper has, I will acknowledge. And the kick is part of the reason why I like mixing it with bourbon so much, because the kick does such a good job of covering up the sort of hit from the bourbon while still mixing with the flavor of the bourbon very well. I'm looking forward to finding out just how Japanese Dr. Pepper is going to be with some whiskey, because I got to try some Japanese whiskey in the future. Of course, bourbon cannot be a thing from Japan. It's like a region-locked version of whiskey, if I remember correctly. And it's got to be with specific stuff. And I think bourbon isn't it like a region-locked? Like it's like champagne. You got to make it in a certain area, or is it just made with certain ingredients? I can't remember. I don't know that much about bourbon or whiskey. I just like drinking it. But I definitely am going to have to try some Japanese whiskey or maybe some bourbon with Japanese Dr. Pepper in the future, and I am going to have to see how I like it. Let's go ahead and finish off my first ever can of Dr. Pepper. Let's give this can of Dr. Pepper a rating, and then after that, let's go and finish off the video. And I almost forgot I need to grab a screenshot. Let's do that after I take the last sip. Well, hopefully one of those will do as a screenshot for the thumbnail of my video. We are all good, I do think. Hopefully one of those will do as a thumbnail. But yeah, appreciate y'all watching today's video where I drank Japanese Dr. Pepper for the first time. Do I like Japanese Dr. Pepper? I love it. It's not better than American Dr. Pepper in my opinion. It's not worse. It's just as good, but different. That's my take. American Dr. Pepper is a 4 out of 4. Japanese Dr. Pepper is a 4 out of 4 as well. Just a different 4 out of 4. Both are great. I enjoy both, but they're different. They're different, I will confirm. No complaints on my behalf. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching my video on me trying Japanese Dr. Pepper for the first time. And let me know in the comments down below if you agree with what I said. Do you guys think what I said is all placebo? Do you think it's actually different? Based off of what you guys have tried before, if you guys have tried Japanese Dr. Pepper, well, let me know in the comments down below. hope you guys have enjoyed watching today's video. If you guys have, of course, like, subscribe, check out my Instagram, my book, my merch, my website, all in the description down below. Go check it all out, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, appreciate y'all watching today's video. And till the next one, stay safe and peace, and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?